Okay, we're live. How are you today? I'm Alex.
I'm May.
Marco.
Hey,
Yeah.
so today I'm just gonna go straight to it. Today's topic is gonna be what's happening to FTX and Binance. Now, FTX and Binance. See, I'm a layman over here, so um, I don't know what it is except for the fact that I know that FTX and Binance are the two world's largest crypto exchange. So anyway, the reason why we got interested in this is because Marco yesterday sent me an article. What does it say? It says, let me see. Binance moves to liquidate its entire position in FTX tokens. And to me, as a layman, I don't know why that is relevant to me. But today, Marco and May is going to delve deep into this, and hopefully you guys will find some value in it. So, anyways, Marco, can you please explain yourself?
Yeah, sure. So as an investor, we're always thinking about like how to invest in crypto and blockchain. And so when I see news like that, I pay attention. And I did some digging, right? So about the news. And as it turns out, what I know is that FTX is one of the biggest crypto exchange in the world, like what Alex mentioned. And the cryptocurrency that was being issued by FTX is called FTT. So FTT is the token of FTX. Binance is absolutely the biggest crypto exchange in the world, which owns a lot of FTT. On November 6th, which is day before yesterday, right? Today is what, the 8th. Binance CEO CZ announced that he will liquidate all his FTT position in the next few months. And this is what he said, due to recent revelations that have come to life. And and then people started to wonder, what is the recent revelations that has come to light? One version is that the CEO and founder of FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, very famous person, has been very outspoken about being compliant to regulators. And ZZ might not see it the same way. He might not see the same attitude towards regulators, and that triggered his belief in FTX moving forward, and he wants out. So that's kind of like one version of it. A darker version now that is sort of people speculate, it's related to price manipulation scheme. So FTX has a company called Alameda Research. It's a company that focuses on quantitative trading, crypto quantitative trading. And this company has, reportedly 14.6 billion in asset and 7.4 billions in liability last June. So I guess it's doing really well, right? It borrows 7.4 billions and then it has 14.6 billion in asset. So that's pretty good, right? Now, in CoinDesk is a very sort of creditable media company, has reported that Alameda balance sheets is dominated by FTT tokens. Still makes sense because it's a FTX subsidiary. Of course, they have confidence in FTT, which is issued by FTX. And then they also have several $1 billion of undisclosed tokens. Now, people are speculating because there's a scheme called the flywheel scheme, which is being used by stock market underwriter, at least I know stock market underwriter used to do, to pump up the stock price. And they think that, Alameda might be using the flywheel scheme, which is to use other tokens to keep buying FTT to manipulate the price of FTT, and then in essence pump up the valuation of Alameda, and then use Alameda valuation or the market valuation, the asset valuation of the company to raise fund, to issue more shares and get more shareholder comes in and use that money to keep buying FTT. So it's kind of like a cycle. Now, if they do it, if really that is what's going on, it's quite scary because the asset under Alameda is actually not as valuable as you think, because you cannot liquid those FTT coins because the whole market is being distorted. So we don't know what the story is. There's a darker version, and there's some less dark version of it, and I guess we just have to find out. It's a very interesting story.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
May, would you like to say something?
So, well, there's a few things going on here. I think in the whole crypto world, especially in the DeFi world, we use asset back as a collateral, staking or whatever, to issue, to create, and to pump, to create coins, to mint the coin, to back the coin, and to create the price, to generate the price. It happens all the time. So yes, it's going to be very alarming from the traditional sense, because this is something that you don't hear of much. When it comes to regulated exchange like FTX, yes, it's been doing that, but just to give you some sense of the crypto world, that the way we stake, or we use the collateral, it's much scarier if you're looking from the traditional point of view, when it comes to DeFi, and it's kind of common because it's a wild west. So what I'm trying to point here is what FTX is doing is not unheard of in the crypto space, but it is, of course, a point of concern. So there are a few things that I want to point out before we move forward. You say FTX and Alameda, like they're kind of similar in the same in the entity, like they're one of the same, right? FTX and Alameda, they support each other and they have same shareholders. And Alameda is more like a liquidity provider to FTX. So with this thing happening, like FTT's been dumped by Binance, CSAT himself, who the liquidity provider like Alameda is getting hurt. But for me, FTX, if somebody's gonna get hurt, Alameda will get first, and then FTX might get it later. But the price today, everything in the market's like squeezed dry, but FTT is dropping like crazy. And one thing that you need to see from the sense of the things are FTX, like Marco says, heavily in politics and regulations, whereas Binance is more into DeFi. Everybody has governance token. FTX has FTT, Binance used BNB, and the price went up so crazy in a way that you can't believe it, both of them, right? So the thing is, like, the things that you don't hear in the traditional world happens in the crypto world. So there's the flying wheel scheme, or the asset back to pump up the price you see in everywhere. But yes, risk management is there. CC say that dumping FTT is part of the risk management scheme, but a lot of rumors say that these two people like Sam Bankman-Fried and CC don't see eye to eye, because there are lots of things. They're one of the biggest, and their philosophies are different. Sam's like into regulation side, and CC is more like Wild West. People do their own thing, and people can create and own their own asset side. So for me, CC is wilder in compare, but but bear in mind that he's richer and much, and Sam picked up super quickly, and FTX picked up quickly, but he's super rich, and when this is a money game. When you look at crypto, you look at stock market, it's money game. So the one with a lot of stakes, with a lot of chips, with a lot of money, always have like the higher card. So I think I just want to show out the dynamic here.
Yeah.
And to put in the personal perspective a little bit on this, I'm a serious trader, professional trader, and first I used Binance, and Binance was the best one at the time, which was 3-4 years ago. And then came along FTX, and I must say that FTX has done, from the user point of view, it it captures a lot of traders, serious trader, just because FTX provides facilities and infrastructures for we traders to trade conveniently, and we can use a lot of bots because we have a software house doing financial software items too. So it's more convenient. So from the personal point of view, I still like the product of FTX, and I still wish that they're doing well because I really need this. Otherwise, it's going to make my life so much more difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine. And I can imagine that will happen to a lot of people. And so I guess that bears the questions that it might be kind of like a competitor sort of fighting scheme, right? So if the biggest crypto exchange that destroyed the second biggest crypto exchange, then what does it say? He got to capitalize the whole market. So there
Yeah.
is that theory, right?
Yeah. But
So
I think the very question is, what do we do?
well, that's what I want to bring it up because I'm gonna be honest. I was listening to this at first. I'm keeping track, and also and it was it. So if I could boil down for you guys, and if you guys could please summarize for us. So basically, two of the biggest crypto exchange now has some conflict in the sense that Binance, which is the largest one, they dumped a lot of the currency of the second largest one, like sponsored by second largest one, in suspicion of foul play and market manipulation. Sorry. And then and as a result, but May is saying that what FTX is being accused of is actually not completely unheard of. But if somehow people lost confidence in FTX and maybe in a sense even in the whole crypto system, because this just kind of shows how fragile the whole crypto system is, it might actually spell some very big misfortune for everybody. Is that correct?
Oh, totally. Yes, you're right on the money. Yes.
And right now, okay, I'm one of the conventional money guys, right? But in terms of crypto, if something were to happen, this particular news, right? How does that affect? Is it just kind of insular? Because the people who don't do crypto, they just think of cryptos as, I wouldn't say crypto nerds, but they just think of guys who doesn't wear a suit, but walks around a very nice office with a ping pong table, like very very like kind of laid back techie kind of people. But that's kind of the whole insular community. Now, what we're describing today over here, would it somehow be very directly affecting the whole world's economy as a whole, or is it something that's very insular?
Well, what I see here is it's gonna hurt. First, if it hurts FTX, okay. First, it sent out a lot of uncertainty. The message is like super unclear, and people get scared. People in the community, it got texted left, right, and center all day yesterday. Said, "What happened? What happened? What happened? And what do we do? And it will FTX collapse? Can it withdraw money on FTX?" So we see right now FTX is facing a bank run. Of course, FTX tweet and say that we have more than enough money to cover this thing, and rest assured that we already have enough assets. So it's not a listed company yet, so we really don't know how much assets FTX has or Alameda has. But still, they manage and people withdrawing, and I think that's one part that people fear, that one of the biggest exchanges kind of collapse, and if it does, it's not going to look good. But personally speaking, I think there's a chance, but the chance is not that high. So this is from me. But what Alameda is doing, which is like trying to provide liquidity, so this funding, the treasury, so-called the treasury of FTX might get hurt, meaning that they lost a lot of money. But so that's one part that's a big message. Second is because crypto doesn't have ceiling or floor. You can go down as low as it can. You can go 80% a day, and or you can rise 300% a day, and it's okay. In the crypto world, there's no ceiling, no floor. So people get panicked very easily. They sell, and there's no stopper. So this will affect the crypto market itself. But when you see the message from two big guys, they are doing something to each other, right? And something not nice. And in this case, FTT assets, FTT tokens got dumped, and in the manner that CC told, I don't know before or after, because we really don't see the account, but CC said that we're going to dump this thing, the whole thing, everything that he has within months. Of course, it's going to put the price down, because where else the price going to go? So you see this dynamic without any warnings, and I think it's a very interesting message in the crypto world, that anything goes, and that send a, because anything goes. I mean, if you want to destroy someone, I mean, if you want to destroy small exchange, if ZZ wants to destroy small exchange one by one, he can, right? He just can. So the fear that's going to develop from now on in the crypto industry is going to be big. And then in terms of the system itself, because it's one of the biggest players doing this, so the system itself look risky. And then people ask who to trust. So looking forward, things might resolve in a better way, or people might say, hey, let's go DeFi. Regulated people is not better than small people doing things together. So you can see a lot of things, and if the message get escalated, you might see a lot of dump in a lot of major tokens like Bitcoin or Ethereum. It's not yet there yet. But if the message saying that the system, the regulated system that has majority of the money potentially has problem, then you might see a big disturbance happening here. And but if DeFi get picked up quite quickly, then people might have a second chance, or say, hey, look, we can do something. It's better to not trust the big guys anymore. But I'm not seeing this as a big event that's going to hurt the whole global scheme. But the crypto industry will get a lot of shakedown and got a lot of messages that we have to consider.
Scary.
Understand.
So it can just have a domino effect. So what goes on from here? It's a very interesting storyline. We have to pay attention, and
yeah.
Okay.
But right now, everything is still holding. FTT dropped from 26 to this morning, which is like less than 40 hours, from 26 to 17.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. So it's like a lot of dropping. It's now back up on 18, and I feel like it's holding. I'm looking at the graph right now. It feels like it's peak. Oh, it's dropped to 15. Sorry, it dropped from 26 to 15. It's picking. It's coming back up now, but yeah, still scary.
Interesting.
Okay. Well, I think, this is something that we really have to keep our eye on. I hope the system still holds up. If we like to switch gears a little bit, right? Right now, there's no news. It's basically, Chairman Powell says that he's going to continue to hike rates in 2023. So, Marco, again, how would that and then May, of course.
Yeah, I would go like, it from the trend, it looks like whenever there's a rate hike announcement, the Bitcoin price will drop. And evidentially, in March, May, and June, and the Bitcoin price has dropped more than 10% every time after the Fed announced its news rate hike announcement. In the exception of July, it was dropped like a little less than 10%, but it was still dropping. So I guess the story here is that, like, you know, when there's a rate hike, the Bitcoin price will continue to drop. And when you kind of couple with this Binance FTT exit story, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna look. I mean, is it gonna drop even crazier because of the effect of the lost confidence, or so-called potential lost confidence of the crypto world? Yeah, May, what do you think?
Everything's dried up. I think you investors yourself, I think you can feel that too. So risk asset like crypto is going to get liquidated first. And I think if 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 Binance needs cash, and cash is king right now. So if Binance needs cash, they have to sell something. But why not selling something that make them also still higher in the number one rank and still have cash? Instead of selling Bitcoin, why don't you just sell, the competitor coins, right? So what I'm saying is everything's dried up, and but crypto market already priced in the hike. Means that 0.75 is like in the price already. So if they hike up way too higher than this, then you will see the price drop. But I think it's holding because they already priced that in. But we don't see recession. We don't see real recession yet because we need to see the number from 2 consecutive quarters. But needless to see those numbers, you can feel something in the air, right? So so even though it's not official recession, people start to feel it. And then once the numbers announce, which the trend is we are going to be in the recess, and then you will see a lot of things more in the difficult trend. However, this is a good time for people who build. Like for me personally, there are lots and lots of cash sitting aside, and you probably know these numbers better than I do. So there are lots of cash sitting aside, and I've got a lot of rich people come ask me like, what do I do with this cash? Because the thing is, the stock market's not sexy anymore, right? The markets from
Yeah.
yeah.
No, just kidding.
So it's not sexy anymore. What do we do? Personally speaking, I still invest in crypto. This morning we just had this serious meeting saying that we're gonna put more short and full hedge to cover the portfolio, so that if the price drop, we're not gonna lose money, and we're gonna make money purely on for this time on the volatility. It means that it moves up, it moves down, it doesn't matter, and we're gonna make money. So this is how our scheme is going to be moving forward. And we apply more and more and more shorts, and this is you can now going to do shorts like to the very maximum until we understand what's going on. So this is one part of the thing that you can do, because it's going to be super volatile, like all the markets. So this is what we're going to harvest on. And but a lot of rich people start to spend money on the build, because they can last, that they can live on with their cash for 10 years, 20 years without worrying. So you can see a lot of money into a lot of spaces, all the tech spaces, games, and Web3, and metaverse, and health tech, everything that you can imagine. You start to see something super interesting. Yes, but what you're looking at next year is you're not going to see quick money, but you are going to see a huge infrastructure building of the world. And when the world come out, of this cloudy darkness, it's going to be unrecognizable because of the thing that people spend and contribute within these years.
Yeah, and then I concur that people should focus more on companies that are building goods and services. So whoever can produce good and like high quality goods and services will always win out, or win, or will always be able to sustain through this winter time.
Yes.
So I would encourage everyone to sort of focus on companies that are really get to the fundamental things, really focus on goods and services productions, and those companies will survive. And once they survive through this winter, these companies will make a big stride in the economy. Yeah.
Yeah, and it really comes back to what I previously said in the previous show, which is, and it goes for Bitcoins too. It's all about there's of course the element of speculation, not even speculation. What is that called? Like prospecting or like a gold rush sort of. It's like somebody threw free money out there and everybody's rushing for easy money. But then once that is done, then the core technology of blockchain is actually a very, very interesting concept in a sense that, in electronic world, you get to start to decentralize and not only works for money, but many, many other applications too. And it also ties back to what Marco was saying in terms of investing in companies that are really out there to build the future. Because and I'm not going to come out here and pretend I'm a big stock guy, because I'm not. I'm just a small player. I'm just some guy off, walking off to a local casino and playing a slot machine occasionally. And it's something that's beyond my control. And I find more and more that, if I win something, it's more like pocket money for that month or something like that. But what I'm really interested in investing in is almost like a patron, like a patron of arts, right? Right now, you don't see that. You could see promise in this person, of course, but it needs a little help. So you actually put your money in them in order for them to build something that will benefit the world. And if you make money along the way, that is absolutely great, because we have to take care of ourselves one time or another. But that is probably kind of how I look at investing too. It's, since I'm not an architect anymore, I look at how I could help build things that are unseen in this world. So anyways, I don't know if you guys also agree with me on this point. So.
Oh, totally, absolutely. Because I think investment, it's to make yourself wealthier, but at the same time, you're kind of helping the emerging technology or emerging services that has a chance to become permanent, right? It's an ideal, but then it comes certain risk, right? Like there's environment that you cannot control, and that's kind of the investment risk that you have to take. So I would urge people to sort of focus on the good company that really get down to the fundamental, and they really focus on good and services. Those are the companies, and including technology too, right? Good and services can be technology too. So those are the companies that will make through, will most likely get through this really long winter, I think. Yeah. Including blockchain, companies, I guess. Yeah.
May, any closing words from you, or?
I think you should invest for two things. Like the one portion of money is invest for the profit, but a portion of the money you should invest on the purpose, right? Sometimes people go make merits or give money to the church and do something, but because some industry, some companies, some people worth supporting. And I think and it's okay. I mean, you should have enough money. People should make money. People should have enough money to be able to invest in two things, for profit and for purpose. And sometimes it can be the same thing. So I agree with you.
Yeah, I personally invest to make money so I could take care of people around me. But if there's a surplus, I'm definitely up for it. After I die, I'll probably just put it up for other means too. I mean, you're not going to be remembered for, once you pass away, you're not going to be remembered at all, actually. But if you are, which is not really my aim, but if you are, you're going to be not going to be remembered by saying, hey, that guy drives a Lambo. a lime green Lambo, actually you're gonna be remembered by saying, hey, that guy put a little charity together that actually put me through school, for example. So I think everything just kind of goes around in a cycle.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think we just passed the 30 mark. I think we did really well this week. So, the audience out there, if you guys have any questions or anything, I certainly have a lot more questions left. But if you guys do, please feel free to comment. We'll be more than happy to respond. Please be nice about it. We're all here for discussion, not a fight. So, yeah. So, I'm going to sign off right now, and I'm not going to say. I was about to say something really, really chirpy, but actually no. We're going to sign off right now. So I'm Alex again.
And
Marco. Oh,
And
Marco.
Okay.
The wrong
All right.
Let's go.
Okay. Take care, guys. Thank you for tuning in.
Bye.
Bye-bye.